Council's YouTube site, please. Good, thank you. Will people be upstanding, please? Good evening, councillors, members of the gallery and to our viewers live streaming tonight's meeting. My name's Alan Getley. I'm the Mayor of the Buloke Shire and the Chairperson of tonight's council meeting. It's my pleasure to welcome you here to tonight's council meeting. We acknowledge the traditional owners of the land on which we are meeting tonight and pay our respects to their elders and to the elders from any other communities who may be here today. Thank you. The council meeting is being recorded and web streamed live to council's site via YouTube. This recording will also be available as a video on demand. Attendees are advised that they will be recorded during the meeting. As a reminder that as councillors we will act in accordance with the Councillor Model Code of Conduct, which will support the principles of leadership and good governance and secures public confidence in the office of councillors. I'd like to introduce the other councillors in attendance tonight. Councillor Stephen Barrett, Lower Avoca Ward. Councillor Charmaine Delaney, Mount Jeffcott Ward. Councillor Bernadette Hogan, Mallee Ward. Councillor Graham Milne, Mount Jeffcott Ward, and Councillor Bruce Stafford, Lower Avoca Ward. Also like to introduce Mr Wayne O'Toole, Chief Executive Officer, and the Executive Management Team. Ms Gaynor Atkins, Director of Community Development, Dan McLaughlin, Director of Infrastructure and Delivery, and Jenna Allen, Director of Corporate and Organisational Performance. I'd also like to welcome Council's Governance Manager, Jennifer Hewitt. Thank you. I've not received any apologies for tonight's meeting. Item 3, confirmation of minutes of previous meeting. Councillors, could I please have a motion for the confirmation of the council minutes of the council meeting that was held on the 18th of June 2025? Councillor Hogan, and I have a seconder, please. Councillor Delaney. All those in favour? That's carried. Item 4, leave of absence. Are there any requests for leave of absence?
No.
Not seeing any, thank you. 5, disclosures of pecuniary and conflict of interest. Councillors and officers, are there any conflicts of interest to declare tonight? No. Thank you. 6, questions from the public. Councillors received 4 questions for this evening's meeting. The Chief Executive's Officer will read to the meeting the name of the person who has submitted the question and the text of the questions. I will then answer the questions or nominate a councillor or member of the council staff to answer the questions. Question 1.
Thank you, Mayor. Question 1 is from Darryl Warren of Donald, and it goes as follows. Council adopted its 2025-26 council budget on the 18th of June 2025. Can you please indicate all amounts that were allocated to cover legal and professional costs in the budget for the next 12 months?
Thank you, Mr CEO. And the answer to that one is for the 25-26 financial year, Council has allocated $785,500 for legal and professional services. This allocation is based on historical expenditure trends, anticipated project requirements and known commitments for the year ahead. Please note that the allocation is subject to change depending on operational needs and professional or legal or regulatory matters that may arise throughout the year.
Thank you, Mayor. Question 2 is also from Darryl Warren of Donald. Can you please advise the name and amount that was allocated to each community organisation within Buloke Shire for the next 12 months as part of the budget?
Thank you. As part of the adopted budget, 2025-26 budget, Council allocated $413,800 towards a variety of community organisation. The full list of beneficiaries is too lengthy to read out within this meeting. However, it will be provided to Mr Warren following the meeting, and the list will also be included in the council minutes.
Thank you, Mayor. Question 3, also from Mr Darryl Warren of Donald. Can you please advise the name and amount that was allocated to each external organisation as either a contribution or membership which the Shire has representation on for example, tourism bodies, business groups, etc., that is included in the budget for the next 12 months.
Thank you, Mr CEO. The Buloke Shire Council maintains memberships with a large range of external organisations to support, advocate, corroborate and professional development and other sector-wide engagement. The full list is too lengthy to read out here this evening. However, it will be forwarded to Mr Warren after this meeting and it will be in the council minutes.
Thank you, Mayor. And question 4 is from Mr Paul Hoare of Bort. And it goes as follows. When will Narangata Gary, descendant of Zsa Zsa Wurrung, Young Balang clan, Dorowa, Yorta Yorta, Barap Barapa, Wamba Wamba, Wagaya, Wingeri and Waywuru peoples receive a response to his letter requesting a meeting?
Thank you, Mr CEO, and I will refer the answer to yourself.
Thank you, Mayor, and through you. A response to the request for a meeting with Paul Hoare and Elder Gary Murray will be provided by the end of this week.
Thank you. Item 7, procedural items. 7.1, report of councillor assemblies. Councillor, is there a motion to receive the report of councillor assemblies? Councillor Barrett, and a seconder?
Mayor.
Councillor Delaney. Is there any discussion on that?
No, just what we attended as per the agenda.
Thank you. Put that to the vote. All those in favour? That's carried. Thank you. 7.2, status of action of past council meeting resolutions. Councillors, is there a motion to receive the status of action of past council meetings resolution, please? Councillor Delaney.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. That the council note the status of action report for council resolution documented in the report.
Thank you. And a seconder, please. Councillor Hogan. Thank you. Any discussion, Councillor Delaney? Put that to the vote. All those in favour? That's carried. Thank you. Item 8, general business. 8.1, policy reports. 8.1.1, fraud and corruption reporting policy. Councillors, do I have a motion for this item, please? Councillor Hogan.
The Council adopts the fraud and corruption policy and endorses the commencement of the planning and development of an organisational fraud and corruption control plan as an attachment to and in support of the fraud and corruption policy.
Thank you, Councillor Hogan. And a seconder, please. Councillor Delaney. Any further discussion, Councillor Hogan?
No, I think this is a really important policy that we renew and change for whatever better way we can put it forward. I think it's been simplified from what I can gather, which is a really good thing, and I think that good, sensible policy structures which promote training and deterrence is a far better policy to have than maybe the one that was a bit wordy before. So I think this is a really good update. Thanks. And I hope it'll go through, I imagine, the Audit and Risk Committee as well. So
thank you. Councillor Delaney.
Just second Councillor Hogan's comments and fully support that.
Thank you. Any other councillor? Councillor Milne.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. Just a comment that the report is very hard to read in that it's got little comments and lines through the body of it where the stuff's been crossed out. I don't know what all that means, but on this copy here and the copy on my laptop or iPad is very difficult to comprehend.
yeah, could I comment on that?
Happy to just clarify that, Mayor. Ms Allen will come up and clarify that for you.
Happy to point out what I'm talking about.
I think we know.
So thank you, Mr Milne or Councillor Milne. Within the attachments in the council report, there are two versions of the policy. One has track changes on it, which is the version that you'll be referring to with all the lines and comments, which is quite hard to follow. I've only included that so that everyone can clearly see what's been taken out and what's been changed. If you keep scrolling through, the last attachment is the clean version of the policy. So it's what is proposed without any of the changes on the document. I hope that makes sense. Otherwise, yeah, so it looks like a lot of double up, but the first version is the track changes, second is the final policy of what we're proposing.
I thank you for that, and I will show you my laptop that disagrees with that later. Thank you.
Thank you. Anything further? Put that to the vote. All those in favour?
Aye.
That's carried. Thank you. 8.2 Management Reports. 8.2.1 Birchip Recreation Reserve Master Plan. Councillors, do I have a motion for this item? Councillor Delaney.
Happy to endorse that. The council endorse the updated draft Birchip Recreation Reserve Master Plan to be placed on public exhibition from Wednesday the 16th of July 2025 to Tuesday the 5th of August 2025.
Thank you. And a seconder, please.
Happy
Councillor
to do that,
Milne.
Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Councillor Delaney, comment?
No, Mr. Mayor, just that I think it's really important to, as part of their overall recreational reserve master plan, to aim towards construction and getting it underway.
Thank you. Councillor Milne.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Just, I'd like to make the comment that this has been a long time coming. It is a substantial report with a lot in it, and for that reason, I'm happy to say that the time and effort being put into to bring this draft to us is, I think, been well worth it. The danger we have, Mr. Mayor, is that if we adopt something like this after the exhibition period, that we're expected to pay for it and bring it on board. So I just want to make sure that that everybody involved in these sort of things understands that these will be big, long wish lists of money that needs to be found from somewhere else. But if you don't have this list and you don't have the plan, you've got nowhere to go when money does come along. So I commend the work that's been done, and just reiterate that we haven't got the cash unless somebody comes up with it. So,
thank you, Councillor Milne.
but very happy to have this go out for public consultation, because I think that's the most important step going forward.
Thank you, Councillor Milne. Any other councillor wish to speak? Councillor Hogan.
The Birchip Leisure Centre and the Recreation Reserve is a really important piece of infrastructure, particularly for the Birchip community and the surrounding wider community. It's been a source of community pride for a number of years, and it is getting a bit tired now, and I think that to have a shovel-ready project ready to go, should funding, as Councillor Mellon said, should funding arrive. We're looking at a $15 million plan here, so we're going to have to look around for some big money to support it, but it's a very important piece of infrastructure, and it'd be great to see what the public thinks over the next 3 weeks, and if we really encourage people to have a really good look at the plans and make suggestions or whatever. So because it's a very important piece of infrastructure for our community. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Hogan. Any other councillor? No, we'll put that to the vote. All those in favour? That's carried. Thank you. 8.2.2 Community Grants. Councillors, do I have a motion for this item, please?
Happy to approve that, Mr. Mayor.
Councillor Delaney.
The council approves the following allocation of funds under the Community Grants Program: $1,000 for the Donald Show Photo Board Project, Donald Pastoral and Agricultural Society Inc., $1,000 for Pickball for all, serving community connection across the cohort, Charlton Neighbourhood House.
Thank you. Seconder for that item, please. Councillor Barrett. Yep. Councillor Delaney, comment?
Just, Mr. Mayor, that I feel both organisations have done really well in presenting something for the community, and we look forward to seeing it come to fruition.
Thank you. Councillor Barrett.
I just concur with Councillor Delaney that anything that gets community involvement in some sort of activity that's beneficial, I think is well worthwhile.
Thank you. Any other councillor? Councillor Milne.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. This pains me to ask again that when these reports are presented, that we get a summary of what's gone out in the 12 months previous to these grants. We did resolve some years ago that be part of these reports, and unfortunately they've been missing. I asked last month, could they be included? And again, they're not there, Mr Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other councillor? Councillor Hogan.
I think we just need to be mindful that there are other applications as well, but they are being followed up. They need more information. So for those other groups that didn't get a grant this month, make sure they follow up on the information that they were asked for, and hopefully we'll see those in future meetings.
Thank you. I'll put that to the vote. All those in favour?
Aye.
That is carried. 8.3, organisational reports. 8.3.1, local government community satisfaction survey results 2025. Councillors, do I have a motion for this item? Councillor Delaney, and a seconder. Councillor Stafford. Councillor Delaney.
That council notes the results for the 2025 Local Government Community Satisfaction Survey and publish the 2025 Local Government Community Satisfaction Survey report to the community.
Thank you. Councillor Barrett, any comments? Sorry, Stafford, I've got the wrong, I'm looking on the wrong side.
Yeah, certainly. Thank you, Mr Mayor. Yeah, look, I'm happy to note these results. Though I think it's very important we don't gloss over what is a fairly clear downward trend across a number of key areas this year. Some of that may be tied to local issues, especially in Donald. I think where dissatisfaction with the handling of the esoteric festival is quite pronounced, and the broader sort of community sentiment that came with that. But it is a reminder that our decisions and how we communicate them matter. And I think it's really important here that we rebuild confidence through better engagement, especially in those communities who are feeling particularly disconnected at the moment.
Thank you. Any other councillor?
Thank you, Mr Mayor.
Councillor Milne.
I would like to make similar comments to Councillor Stafford in that the timing of this particular survey was probably unfortunate, but it also gives us the opportunity to reflect on just how those decisions and other decisions and how a council operates does affect the perception in people's minds. And I think there's some strong sentiment in this survey, or the results of this survey, that indicate that some stuff we've got right, but a lot of stuff we've got a lot of work to do. And even on our strong points from in the last 12 months, or the 12 months prior to this, we've slipped a long way on some of those things, and it's difficult to fathom why on some of the things, but it's quite understandable on other parts of it as to just what the problem was. So normally we would have had an opportunity to look at this at a briefing prior to this coming to council. That hasn't been the situation this year, although we will have a chance to look at it after it's come back from community consultation. And I've urged the community, while they've had an opportunity to have their say in this, I urge them to get involved and have the opportunity to have a say. If you weren't one of those who was in the phone call, there is an opportunity for anybody that was left out of that to have their say, and for us to listen, Mr Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Milne. Any other councillor? Put that to the... Oh, sorry, Councillor Hogan.
I thought it was of note that the Sea Lake residents gave a few highest scores, particularly in planning and building permits, and I think that's why. And we look at there are localised things going on which are affecting, and whereas we've had we've been doing some work up there in planning and building as part of the Shire, and that's been seen, whereas down in Donald, of course, we've had some issues. So I think we have to look at some of but were definitely things in there that were positive, but yeah, there were a number of negative issues as well that have probably skewed the results.
Thank you. Any other councillor? Put that to the vote. All those in favour? That's carried. Thank you. 8.4, reports from councillors. Councillor Hogan, we'll go down your side.
Oh, nothing of significance to report at this stage, thank you.
Councillor Delaney.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. So, as Councillor Milne was in attendance at the Deb Ball, it was lovely to see and acknowledge all the young adults. They looked absolutely stunning against the backdrops provided, and thanks to Donald 2000 and all their volunteers for making the event possible. I would also like to take this opportunity, if I may, to acknowledge the resignation of our CEO, Mr Wayne O'Toole, and I would like to thank Wayne for his service and at times under very trying circumstances. Thank you, Wayne.
Thank you, Councillor.
Councillor Barrett.
Thanks, Mr Mayor. I've attended Which Year Live, which brought up a few issues around the town, which I've conveyed by the website to appropriate people, so I don't bring it to attention in operate. Don't want to stand on anyone's operational toes. Also, I note that Which Year Live have got out their community action plan for a bit of comment and so forth. I believe it's a draft at this stage, which looks quite good, and hopefully people will get back to us on that. And that's probably about it at this stage.
Thank you, Councillor. Councillor Stafford.
I have nothing to report, Mr Mayor.
Councillor Mill.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. A few things to run through, if I may. I did attend here with one or two other councillors and the CEO and staff the TCB meeting that was held in this room, that also attracted a lot of attention from locals, ratepayers and others that may well be affected by that. That particular show was not much of a show. It was more of a non-event in the TCB. Were unable or were advised not to turn up, and then getting them online was difficult. So that was a bit of a disappointment. I've also attended the most recent Buloke tourism meeting, and note that our next meeting is the annual AGM, annual general meeting, to be held in Kalgoa on the 28th of next month. The Donald Recreation Reserve, along with Councillor Delaney and Donald 2000 meetings, their monthly meetings on the Wednesday, and there's some issues that have come out of those that are still ongoing, and I hope that we can resolve those satisfactorily. Mostly the biggest argument is dog bags and dog walkers, but there are other issues there that we're working through. Was invited to the Lions Club changeover dinner in Charlton on Friday the 27th. My good wife and myself attended that. It was a great event. Saw Ross Lane come into the chair again for another term as chairman, and it's been in good hands, and it'll go back into good hands again. So, and it's good to see that the Charlton Lions group is relatively strong, with 2 inductions of young members this year. So they've got 2 new members in and younger guys, which is a little bit better than some of our other Lions clubs around the place, unfortunately suffering from their date of birth. I think most of the problems are coming from that the members in them are getting old, and nobody else is taking it on. So, as Councillor Delaney said, I was fortunate enough to be asked to attend the Deb Ball as one of the dignitaries, special people or something, or Shire representative in that group. It was a fantastic night. I think the hall in Donald would have been, 90% full, with standing room only. And Donald 2000 doing their first on their own, having the previous one being done by Darryl within the Donald 2000 committee, but this one's done by different people, was a credit to it, the way it was operated, and that concept is alive and well, I think, for a few more years in the country yet. So, I attended the most recent Watcham Progress as their chairman, but also as a delegate of council. There's a few things popping along there, and I guess we had the pleasure of Gaynor, Ms Atkin, being there to talk about the Tiny Towns project that we were funded for, and get some work on the way for that. And today I was asked to meet at the Donald Police Camp to assess some of the damage that's been found there in the last week or two, and what I noted was that there are a number of areas where rising damps coming into the building. The drainage system is completely blocked, and I wouldn't mind betting that with some investigation we find a little lake air under that building because of the nature of how it sits on the block and where the water's been going. So there are some issues there, and I believe that we also have a white ant problem in the archives again as of today, which I saw photos of tonight, which I think our building team have maybe looked at today as well. So there are some issues there to be looked at. The last thing I want to, or one of the last things, and I'll go to this before I go to the last, but Buloke Times, as we will have noted, is coming up to its 150th year in publication in the one family name, so to speak. So it's been in the one family and connections or relatives in that family in its entirety. So I'd like to see a letter of recognition go out to the proprietors of Buloke Times, please, to recognise that event, the fact that they're 150 years old, and make comment that over the years have been great supporters of the Shire, and our goings on has been well and truly recorded up until the point where we probably had our own media person, and COVID hit, and the operative sort of no longer popped along to catch the finer points, but they are great people within our community who deliver a great service. I would also like to wish our CEO, outgoing CEO, all the best.
Thank you.
I think a step in a new direction will be good for you.
Thank you.
And I hope that the organisation gets the benefit of your knowledge.
Thank you. Thank you, Councillor. Do you want to mention Nigel?
Oh, sorry, yes, Nigel. Yes, let's do that. Yes. I did mention him the last time because we'd attended, Councillor Delaney and I attended his send-off at Charlton Park, but we did have the pleasure of having him join us at Council for the briefing. So Sergeant Nigel McDonald we're talking about. At the briefing in Charlton the other night, where we presented him with a small token of our appreciation for his 25 plus years, probably nearly 30 years as our emergency services man, which is one of the longest, or is the longest serving in the state. So Nigel, we thank you for your work. We did that night and we do it again tonight. And I think there's another opportunity in Bendigo shortly to do the same. So I'll leave it at that. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Milne. Apart from my normal mayoral duties, I attended the ALGA conference in Canberra at the end of June. There is a report on that in the agenda, but just a few notes from that. It was a little disappointing that the senior ministers weren't in Canberra, but we did get to meet with Christy McBain, the Minister for Local Government, and got a good hearing from her and were able to raise a number of issues. I met with the Cross-Border Commissioner regarding the economic thing, and that's stalled due to New South Wales sort of come to a great halt. They're not sort of doing too much, but he did say that they're getting together again to try and push that along. The junior ministers that we listened to at that meeting, at that conference, gave a rundown of what the new government, the newly elected government, is going to do, which they go back, I think it's next week, they go back into Canberra, and it's sort of basically status quo from the last term and just push it forward again from there. And then today I attended the regional conference of the MAV online in Swan Hill, along with the CEO. The two major points that I was pushing was the emergency services levy and the response that it's going to have on business, landlords and that sort of thing, and asked the MAV to push that along with the government. And the other one is the National Electricity Plan, and to be honest, MAV didn't have much of a response to that, but they have requested that I speak with them, take that further. On that, I spoke with Gail Broad later today on that thing, and I did not get a lot of joy from her. She believes that the government will push that through with their numbers at the end of July, but they will to keep advocating on that one, and that's about my lot. Thank you. 9, other business. I have none, but 9.1, I have notice of motion. We have received a notice of motion from Councillor Milne, which is in the supplementary agenda. Councillors, do I have a motion for this item? Councillor Milne and Councillor Barrett. Councillor Milne.
2 secs, please, Mr Mayor, until it comes up. My apologies. It doesn't want to load.
Excuse me, Mr Mayor, do we get a copy of that to read as well, or...?
Yeah, it was in the addendum.
Yeah, but it's not on the screen here, is it?
Yeah, no, it's not.
Have you got it on here?
No, just on SharePoint.
Yeah, but it's not actually on our... Yep.
Yeah, right.
And I can get it out.
That helps if you know how to use things, doesn't it? Thank you very much for everybody. Sorry for the delay. Mr Mayor, I propose a notice of motion which you've suggested. The purpose of the motion is to write, Council take action and write to the relevant ministers' departments to seek genuine engagement with Council, the government and the Buloke Shire community in relation to the visits of Minister Lily D'Ambrosio, Minister for Department of Energy, Environment and Climate Action, and her legislation. And the recommendation, Mr Mayor, that I put is one that Council expressed strong disappointment in the lack of transparency shown by the State Minister for Energy and Resources to the Buloke Shire Council on her visit to the region on Wednesday the 11th of June 2025, when the Minister did not advise the Council of significant legislation on land access that she introduced into Parliament on the Thursday the 19th of June, just 8 days after the visit. To request that the Minister, the Department of Energy, Environment and Climate Action, DECA, VicGrid and the Australian Energy Market Operator, AMO, and Transmission Company Victoria, TCV, engage with Buloke Shire Council in a genuine, open and constructive manner to understand our community's concerns about energy projects in the Shire. Point 3, write to the Minister detailing councillors' disappointment in the way councillors and ratepayers have been treated and seeking genuine engagement in the future. And 4, invite the Premier and the Leader of the Opposition and Northern Victorian parliamentarians to meet with Buloke Shire Council to hear our serious concerns about energy projects in the Shire. Mr Mayor, I move that notice of motion.
Thank you, Councillor Milne, and a seconder, please. Councillor Barrett, comment?
Yeah, I agree with Councillor Milne on the way Lily D'Ambrosio treated us at that meeting and didn't give us information that she would have known at the time. And we were asking some decent questions at that meeting, so I can think this is just a way of expressing our disappointment on the way we've been treated, and it should be forwarded to her.
Thank you, councillor. Any other councillor comments? Councillor Hogan.
I just want to reiterate one of the statements in the addendum, just that we want the Victorian Government and energy companies to recognise these compounding stresses on our community, and we expect that they engage genuinely and respectfully with our community on aspects of the energy transition, because this is ongoing, and I think we need to make sure that we are respected at the table with our points of view going forward.
Thank you. Any other councillor?
Yeah, thank you, Mr.
Councillor
Miller.
Stafford?
Yeah, look, the Minister's visit was, I think Graham mentioned, genuine engagement. It was a missed opportunity for some genuine engagement. And for significant legislation to be introduced just days after her visit, I find very, very disappointing, especially given the impact it has on landowners in our Shire. They're already under pressure from drought, flood, cost of living issues, etc. Now, we're not asking for special treatment, just to be treated with basic respect and to be kept in the loop on decisions that directly affect our ratepayers.
Thank you. Any other councillor? Councillor Mill?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Just to be clear on what that legislation was that she introduced 8 days after the visit, it was the National Electricity Victoria Amendment, Vicgrid Stage 2 Reform Bill of 2025, and the bill establishes the new power for authorised officers to enter land to facilitate works by an electrical corporation, including power to service any infringement notices. Now, there's some significant fines and other things that go with this, and it's taking away any power that a landowner has to protect their own domain here. I mean, it's to me, it's you know, I won't use the word I was going to use. It's criminal, but so I think that this letter that we write to Minister D'Ambrosio needs to be of the strongest calibre, expressing the concerns that we've laid out in this notice of motion, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. I put that to the vote. All those in favour? That notice of motion is carried. Thank you. 9.2, questions from councillors. Councillors, do we have any questions? Councillor Mill.
Apologies. A couple of questions, if I may, Mr. Mayor. And this one is one that I've asked a couple of times privately, but I've had questions from community members, and it also goes to a statement that that may have been made by yourself, Mr. Mayor, that in the appointment of a representative to represent Buloke Shire Council at a VCAT hearing between West Wind Wilka and the Buloke Shire Council, that maybe the appointed defender on our behalf wasn't the best value for money that we could get. I want to clear that up, and I would like a true and honest answer on that, obviously. And I expect that that's what I'll get. But if it is to be the case that we haven't employed the best person for the job, then I find that somewhat disgusting.
Yeah, thank you, Mayor. Ms Atkin will provide a response to that question from Councillor Mill.
Thank you, Councillor Milne. Council engaged Goldsworthy Consulting for this case. James Goldsworthy has represented council on several occasions and is a highly regarded planner with over 25 years' experience in land use planning, project management and rezoning, having represented both the public and the private sector. He is a former sessional panel member of Planning Panels Victoria and has represented council previously at BCAT with successful outcomes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Your second question, Councillor?
I do, Mr Mayor, and I've written to the executive and councillors about this, but it goes to the fact that we're still waiting for road money to come out of the 22-23 floods, where we have a significant amount of road damage that has occurred there. Our staff have had to, from my understanding, apply up to possibly 5 times to get some of this money. We've had a dribble of it come out, but we're talking probably, I don't know, north of $60 million for road work that still has had no definite funding, or no certainty that it will be funded into the future. Now, I know that we've had staff, CEO and staff attend Melbourne to try and bring this a resolution to this situation. We are the biggest, with the Shire with the biggest amount of damage from these events. We were promised money. I think we've been made to jump through too many hurdles to get it. At this point, I would strongly recommend that this gets a little bit more political now, and that we encourage and employ the members, local member, and our opposition spokesman for roads, and anybody else that we can think of to take this straight to Parliament. Question on the floor: why isn't it being dealt with? Because I just think this is becoming a bit of a joke. We've had 2 or 3 years of no disaster, but the next one will hit us before these two are even cleaned up. And $60 million or $60 to $80 million worth of work is going to take a lot of work to get it up to date. So when we start, it's probably going to take us 12 months, if not more, to get it done. And I think that we're left high and dry on this, and I would like to push the effort a little bit harder and a little bit further, and I would like the council's support to do that, please.
Do we have a response to that all?
So that can come to council at any other time to be discussed, but I just want to bring that forward now as something that we need to start.
Foreshadowing
have it on the table before you leave and a new one comes in, so that it doesn't get lost.
So you're foreshadowing for a future meeting that we would
Yes.
have a motion.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Milne. Councillors, any other questions? No? Thank you.
Sorry. Press release that was worked on to go out after the June the 30th, which was, what was that? Was that the June 30?
2 weeks ago.
So it was to go out after that TCB event.
Yep.
It appeared in some papers, but to my knowledge, it has not appeared in the local Buloke Times. Now I know it appeared. It's on our website. I know it appeared in the Swan Hill Guardian.
Yep.
The next week that after it had been released. But I would wonder if we could follow up as to whether Buloke Times received it, didn't receive it, chose not to act on it, or never got it. Because that was a significant press release to go out after that failed TCB event, and I would like it to have been at least in the local papers, not so much in everybody else's paper.
Through the Mayor, we will follow that tomorrow. Under ordinary circumstances, when we make a media release, it's distributed to a range of media agencies. That certainly happened in this case, but we'll follow up with specifically with the Buloke Times to see what's happened there.
That's all from me, Mr Mayor.
Urgent business, I have none. Any other business? I have none. Matters which may exclude the public, there are no matters, which brings us to the meeting closed. Thank you for attending this meeting, and I declare the meeting closed at 7:44.
Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you all.